There's a way of speaking on YouTube that will allow you to build your personal brand way faster because it builds so much more trust and connection with your audience. So if you're struggling right now, speaking on camera, and you have a feeling of awkwardness, inauthenticity, and not feeling the confidence that you want to feel when you actually do record, I wanted to share something incredibly important with you that could change the game. It's a little bit paradoxical, so stay with me. If you are trying to be your best self on camera every time that you record, it could be the number one thing that's sabotaging you. And to explain why, imagine yourself in a cafe talking to a friend, right? You've just ordered a nice oat milk flat white and you're chatting to them. Now this friend who's talking to you, you can tell they're trying to be their best self. So they're really trying to be like Rachel 3.0. And you can tell that they're managing themselves to try and give you the very best version of them, right? Would you connect with this person? Would you feel like, this is a great friend and I'm having a great conversation? Or would you be like, something's off here? I don't know what it is, but Rachel is not really being herself and I'm feeling slightly repelled for some reason. This is what happens with so many entrepreneurs and creators who are recording on camera. Because it's a recorded thing and it's going to be put out into the world, suddenly we have this mental mindset when we're like, I need to be the best person I possibly can. And that makes sense. Like it makes sense. You're thinking first impressions, you want to put your best foot forward. I get it. But the problem is the more you try and be your best self, the more that best self just keeps running away from you. And this is because trying to be the best version of you does two important things. First, it creates inauthenticity. Because you're trying, you're therefore being inauthentic. Like somebody who's being authentic, they're not trying, they're not micromanaging themselves to get a certain reaction out of people. The other symptom this core root issue creates is endless retakes. Why? Because if you're trying to be your best self, it's probably going to take you 20, 30 different takes to finally end up with a version where you're like, oh, that was the me that I want to put out into the world. This is why people are banging their head against the wall trying to film over and over again, because they're trying to create a version of themselves. So you've got to follow a couple of steps and do a few things I'll tell you in this video to get out of this paradox and really start being the authentic you, which ironically is also the best version of you. So the first thing you got to do, stop trying. Stop trying to be anyone else other than who you are right now. You see, you're on a path to growth, I'm sure. If you're an entrepreneur and you're making content, like there is a personal growth trajectory that is happening. And you've probably come a long way and you probably, in your mind, probably got a long way to go, right? And so instead of trying to rush to be this person right now on camera, wherever you are, you might be here or you might be here, you've got to be where you are right now. And that means not trying to move up the scale, not trying to sort of hack your way into being a better version of who you are right now when you're actually not that. And this requires a lot of self-acceptance. So there's a really important equation when it comes to self-acceptance. Self-acceptance equals self-improvement. So by accepting yourself more deeply, you are 100% making yourself better. Now, better, very loaded word. No human is better than another human, I get it. But just on a conceptual level, by accepting yourself, you likely have better relationships, you likely be better at work, you likely have a better relationship to yourself as well, which are all things that self-improvement is trying to do. So self-acceptance equals self-improvement. You will improve yourself by accepting yourself. However, self-improvement does not necessarily equal self-acceptance. So you can do all the self-improvement in the world. You can be having amazing habits, going to the gym, making more money, having better relationships, but that doesn't necessarily mean that you're self-accepting, which actually means that you're constantly going to be chasing. Like at the end of this self-improvement journey, it doesn't mean that there's self-acceptance there, so you're always going to feel that you need to be better because you still don't accept yourself. Now, you've probably tried a couple of things before to be more self-accepting. On a mental level, there's lots of things and exercises out there. There's like affirmations and there's journaling and all this stuff. Some of it can work. However, when it comes to speaking on camera and getting better in this context, self-acceptance is done on a physical level, which can be far more effective because you need to be accepting of yourself in this moment right now when you are recording. That's what's going to create that authenticity that builds the trust and connection with your audience. And the way that you accept yourself right now and talk from a place of where you actually are is on a body level. You see, the definition of inauthenticity is feeling one way and then speaking or presenting yourself in another way. So it creates a disconnect. So we have to align that. We have to feel the same way as we're speaking. And the way that we do that is having emotional acceptance. So the word feeling here is very important. We have to feel what we're feeling and accept those emotions right now. So if when you press record, it brings up a sense of anxiousness, I'm not saying that you have to just be anxious on camera. I'm saying that you're not stuffing that down and trying to act confident despite this well of anxiety that is beneath this mask of confidence, right? Instead, you're really feeling into this anxiousness. And usually beneath that, there's a bit of fear. And you'll sit with that for a while. And so you drop your awareness into your body, into where you are feeling that emotion, and allow that emotion to go wherever it needs to. It will often sort of move around and go around your body, and feel it until it starts to dissolve. And when that starts to dissolve, you'll often find this connection in your body, mouth, and mind start to happen. Self-acceptance also happens in a communication context on a physical level. And so what the field of somatics looks at is muscular rigidity and how that interacts with emotion. And so it's likely that if you just have like a band of rigidity that is around your shoulders, your chest, your back, it usually means that you're holding some kind of mask. Because you're being rigid, you're trying to present a version of yourself and cutting off emotions. However, again, if you drop your awareness into those muscles, you can often find them start to relax just with that awareness, and that then creates the space for your real self right now to come through, which is a deep act of self-acceptance in this moment. So I know this can be a little bit conceptual, so I want to give you a clear, solid takeaway, an exercise to do before you talk to camera next time. I have a free guided walkthrough of this exercise, which is an audio that you can listen to before you talk to camera. That is in the description below. And I want to show you the steps that you go through right now. So step one is to prime your body. So it's to get into a good state to talk to camera, which means taking some deep breaths. Simple as that, just relaxing the body. And after you take some deep breaths and ground yourself, you're going to start to put your awareness in your body. And you can do this by doing a basic body scan. So first, having your awareness right on the crown of your head. And I don't mean like feeling or moving the energy. I simply mean literally just holding your awareness, like you could do, putting your awareness in your hands, holding that awareness in the crown of your head. Moving that awareness down to your forehead, your eyes, your nose. And as you do this, feeling that sort of 360-degree band and just putting the intention to relax your face. Going down to the nose, to the jaw, the throat. Feeling that awareness go down to your chest, shoulders, and back. Step two is to relax and feel whatever you have going on right now. So feeling any emotion that comes up. Sometimes placing a hand on your heart can help. And whatever it is, whether it's positive, negative, whether it's not even necessarily an emotion, it's a numbness, a lack of emotion, or it could be joy, it could be anxiety, sadness, anger, whatever it is, allowing yourself to feel that. And if you don't habitually do this, it might be quite intense and uncomfortable. And if it is, you don't have to like process the whole thing. You can just sort of let the steam out a little bit, feel it a little bit. And if you do, this will allow you to then go deeper into your body again. And then when you next press record after having done this exercise, just have that intention to talk to a friend as if they were in a coffee shop, in a cafe, and just be who you are right now. Don't try and be anyone else. People will connect with you and who you are right now, not with some person you're trying to be. And I'll leave you with this. When you are talking to a friend in a cafe or whatever, there's a certain emotion or energy exchange that happens, right? That's how a friendship is, like or a good conversation. It's this sort of exchange of, oh, I'm feeling like this and I'm sharing this, you're feeling like this, you're sharing this. Even on a logical level, I'm sharing this idea, you're sharing this idea, that's making me feel a certain way, that's making you feel a certain way. The thing is, when we're talking to a camera, for most people there isn't that energy exchange, there's not that emotional exchange. So this is why we go into the body, because the energy exchange and the emotional exchange has to happen within yourself. It's not going to happen between you and a lifeless object, right? It has to happen within yourself. You have to go in and connect with yourself, and that's what's going to provide that connection with your audience. As I said, that free guided walkthrough is in the description below. And if you want to learn an incredibly simple method to plan your videos so you build an ideal audience who watches and buys from you, check out this video next.